A very good day to you and welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jedel Kibero. This fine Sunday, taking a look at the conversation we are having in the country. President Uhuru Kenyatta is back. He's calling himself the retired president. Don't call him President Uhuru. He says, come for me. He dares the government, dares President William Ruto's government to go for him. Says he gave him the instruments of power. He doesn't understand why they're going for him. These are our usual political conversations to build this country as we're progressing with this government. I'm here with Herman Manyora. How are you doing?
I'm very good.
You know, this conversation, we've said it's difficult, telling the relationship between Uhuru Kenyatta and the current regime. But if they are going for his family, does this mean there's more that meets the eye? We've always said, look, it's difficult to tell whether Uhuru was in cahoots with President Ruto, but now things are tricky, isn't it?
It is now difficult to even entertain the idea that he was playing Raila. This sounds genuine. If you are acting, you must be a Hollywood star.
Yeah. Yeah?
Yeah.
If it's simply stage managed,
then
Uhuru should go to Hollywood.
Yeah. There are reasonable grounds for us to believe there is something between Ruto and Uhuru.
What is so bad, Prof, that they have to go for the former president this time around? Because they haven't even gone for Raila. They claim it's Uhuru financing, but they haven't gone for the Azimio la Umoja leader. What is so bad that is making this happen?
If it is true that there's bad blood between Uhuru and Ruto, to the extent that Ruto is out to look for Uhuru, either to finish him or that Ruto fears Uhuru, then I'm tempted to believe, to entertain the idea that perhaps Ruto knows something we don't know. That perhaps Uhuru may not mean well for this government. Maybe, you can never know. Like I said earlier, just speculating, perhaps Uhuru could have handed over power knowing well kuna mitego huko mbele ameweka. And the Ruto discovered that despite this guy giving him power, he has designs to ensure he leaves power within a year or two. You know, it's quite possible.
But this strategy, though, of dealing with Uhuru, going after Mamangina, going after the son Jomo, is this a strategy that should be implemented when it comes to dealing with this politics? President Uhuru says, look, come for me, I am here. Why go through all these lengths?
But it's an age-old tactic, a little cheap, a little on the cheap, that people go for the small people, first to send fear around. Secondly, to make people, to isolate the leader. So you isolate the leader by knocking down his people. And in the process, you are spreading fear. And then you move on. I think that tactic is a little outdated.
Now that Uhuru has been smoked out, are we looking at a situation in the country where politics is going to take a different dimension? Is that what we're looking at? Uhuru being smoked out because he was silent, says he has always been silent, but now he's out. What is the future?
There's something Uhuru said that he thought silence virtuous. There was something good in being silent. What does that mean? In English, it means he's sort of now seeing that it doesn't make sense to be silent. What people are saying, he's saying that his silence doesn't mean he's scared. No, that is surface. The deeper thing is he's going beyond questioning the virtue of silence. Is it really good? Does it make sense in this environment to be silent? That to me was dangerous. That's what I picked from the whole thing. People picked all manner of things.
He's not scared.
Including demeanor, he's not scared, including the gloves are out, Ruto is out for Uhuru, including... No! The message that I got, and which is danger to me, is I think it's not reasonable now to be silent. And I've said before, and I want to say it here. If Uhuru teamed up with Raila openly, this country will go on fire.
Mm.
Yes.
Now look at Mount Kenya region, which for many has been accused of not standing up as it should when it comes to this Azimio la Umoja maandamanos. And now Uhuru is out in public saying silent, as you put it, is not a virtue if you decide to interpret it that way. What does this mean for the future of the country when we have another demonstration, another
I
protest?
fear that Uhuru may come out in the open and support Raila and his man, and that will spell doom for the country. I know there are people who say, Manyora, you are spelling fear. Oh, you are an alarmist. Oh, that as these days are calling me a coward. My friend, I know. I have the ability to see things. And I'm telling you, it doesn't augur well for the country.
If Uhuru teams up with Raila openly.
It's bad.
Now, for many say this is the handwriting.
If you have Uhuru, with those Mount Kenya leaders, and the rough and tough Mwangio area. You know Mwangio area is a tough guy, eh?
Yeah.
And then, above all, you have Maina Njenga.
Yeah.
My friend.
Now, you talk to me about...
Even Gachagua will not talk in Mount Kenya.
Talk to me then about Uhuru, what happened at his homestead, and now Maina Njenga's case too. You know, no one knows where he is. He was arrested, not knowing if it's actually government or people that have abducted him. It seems like there's this target for Azimio la Umoja Kikuyu leaders to some sense. Is this going to work for Gachagua, who says we're going to deal with you, we're going to show you that police are not coming to, kiss you on the road, they're coming to do their job? What does this mean for this Kikuyu leaders?
My observations are very clear. And I've said this. There are many reasons why Ruto is in State House and Gachagua is there as deputy. Many factors, many reasons. Ruto is a tough man, he's a smart man, he's a hard campaigner, and blah, 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 blah. Some may add he was favored by some quarters. And all those reasons are there, and they may be valid. But there is one factor. If you removed the remaining factors, will not take Ruto to State House.
Which factor?
The victim card. The sympathy card. If you pluck from all those other factors and forces and reasons that made Ruto the president, because there must be a list of factors and reasons. If you remove the victim card and sympathy card, the campaign collapses. He would not be president. No, he would not be president. No, forget about it.
But do you think he still has this sympathy because they're still talking about...
Now he's removing it from... He's planting it the other side.
Yeah?
Yeah. Now Uhuru is the one who is now coming out as a victim. He's the one earning sympathy, all the bonga point sympathy.
Why so? Because when you look at Kenyans on Twitter speaking about revenge, it's due now because of what Uhuru did to their side when they kicked them out of Jubilee Party, when he stormed their houses.
Those are just a handful of leaders, the so-called leaders. But the people, it's not those leaders who gave Ruto the presidency, it is the people on the ground. And it's the same people who are becoming more sympathetic to Uhuru now, by dint of the actions from the government. Yeah.
So the sympathy is going to Azimio la Umoja.
It's going to Ruto, Uhuru.
Don't you think he doesn't need this sympathy now? Because look, he's already in power. He has the instruments of power. President Uhuru Kenyatta says it's true, he has this instrument which he gave to them.
There are two things in life. Let's go to school. It is easier to be top of your class. It is easier to be number one in class, but much more difficult to maintain your lead in the class. Becoming number one is easy, much easier than remaining number one or top of the class. It is easier to be elected member of parliament than remaining member of parliament, managing that job. It is easier to get a job than to perform. It is much easier to become president than just to remain president. It is much more difficult remaining president than becoming president. Yeah.
Is this the situation with President?
I'm giving you really life situations. It is easier to get something than to maintain that thing. That's life in the world in which we live.
How do you kick President Ruto out? You know the leaders that he has. He's controlling parliament. He's controlling Senate. How do you kick him out?
You see, the answer to that one is very simple. The world is full of presidents who have been kicked out and prime ministers and kings. So you have your answer. Even some escape the palace or state house with a helicopter. I saw Siadi Bari in Safari Park, having run from Somalia with trucks, stout, big vehicles, stout, left-hand drive. I've been lucky to meet people who have presidents within hours of leaving their country. I saw Siadi Bari at Safari Park, 1991 or thereabouts, with my eyes. I saw, was this Safari Park? Yeah. I saw Binaisa. Is it? I saw somebody, I can't remember who it was, in Golf Hotel Kakamega. So I saw Amin's troops crossing into Kenya, running away, removing uniform and putting on civilian clothes. We've seen these things. It happened. Don't ask me whether because you have Senate, you have House of what. No, politics has its own dynamics.
You talk about politics and dynamics. I'm thinking about President Uhuru Kenyatta now. Do you think he regrets the actions he made before the 2022 election if he had the instruments of power and still lost?
That's what everybody was asking. How could he have wanted Ruto to win, to lose, and Ruto? How? Just how? Even me, I can't understand how, just how. I agree with Atwoli. How? Atwoli gives very funny analogies.
How?
How? That you are a policeman armed with an AK-47 walking in town and people snatch your phone. Atwoli is asking how.
So the big question now is how...
He's irritating the other side, but he has a point. Just how was Uhuru unable? But I will give you the answer. And we talked about it. In my long discussions with the two people I discussed politics with, my children, one Raila and one Foster, you know them. We discuss hours on end. But it comes down to one thing. When you get into power, you can't see the things even children can see. And that's why people are asking, is Ruto not seeing these things that he's doing? I don't know. Power has something. It makes, you can't see things which tomorrow when you're out of power or you have missed your target like Uhuru, you wonder how come we didn't see this.
Okay.
I don't need even to be president for more than a year. And you can't get power from me. And that's where Ruto comes in. So you are right in the way you're saying, is anybody capable of removing Ruto? It's not easy because Ruto now is the idea of the person we are talking about. How can you be president for 10 years and your preferred candidate can't win?
So if Uhuru didn't play Raila, he's now facing...
The only explanation was he played Raila. Because you can't understand how. I mean, just how. So even the resources alone. Look, but I also said on this channel, I think with you or somewhere, I said, Gideon Moy and Uhuru Kenyatta, assuming it is true, there is enmity between these groups with Ruto. If Ruto wins, and remember my narrative, that whoever wins will harass the one who will lose. I kept saying that.
Yes.
People have been playing that thing, but of course to spice me, to hate on me,
or to mock
and to mock me and to do all those things all those verbs that don't mean well for me. But I meant it, and you can see it at play. The victor will vanquish the defeated person. They will not be magnanimous. It never works. Revenge never works. Never. You can check in the Bible, you can check in holy books, you can check everywhere in real life. When you set out revenge injures you more than the person to whom you want to extend the revenge. So I said on this show many times that if Ruto wins the presidency, there's really danger Uhuru will be in problems and Gideon Moi will be in problems. If that is the case, I think I was saying it on TV. If that is the case, why am I not seeing their hand in the elections of Raila Odinga? I'm not seeing it. The hand is so weak. They are lucky. At some point, Gachagua's determination to hunt down what he called guys involved in state capture somehow didn't succeed. If it succeeded, they will be wishing they listened to Manyora. I say, you have billions, but you are not willing even to spend 1 or 2 of those billions to ensure your preferred candidate wins. Yet if the other guy wins, you stand the chance to lose all the billions you have. They are lucky that Gachagua has not had his way. He was so determined on state capture.
Don't you think this is Gachagua right now going after President Uhuru Kenyatta? Because he's been the one going after President.
You know, I just hope that's not the case. If somebody in power wants to finish you, they will do it. Although again, our leaders, because they play games with us among themselves, and at the same time, they are just us, the other team that went out of the Uhuru team. Because if it is me and I want to finish you, I don't need to touch you. I just kill your business. All of it will go. Because these businesses are dependent on state capture. All of them. There isn't a guy doing business in this country, apart from 1 or 2 people like Chandaria, who can tell you their business can survive without government. No, none. All these businesses survive because of government. So whether they are banks or what, anything, name it.
So what is this then? If they're not going after business, they're going after the kids and the mother. Is this so personal?
So that's why we are saying it could still be Hollywood. There's still a chance that we are being played. They are performing a Hollywood on us. Because if you are determined to finish Uhuru Kenyatta, why the drama? Why the drama, Ruto? Why the drama? Why the drama?
Finish him.
Just finish him. Call me one day. I just look at Uhuru Kenyatta's portfolio. Business portfolio. I just go one after the other. One after the other. I just look schools. Okay. I'll find something. I can't fail to find something. Milk. I can't fail to find something. Like banks. One after the other. I'll demolish them.
But do you think, honestly...
I look at Gideon Moi, the property Moi left behind. How did they acquire them? What businesses is he doing? I don't need the drama.
But I'm just looking...
So that's why there's a chance there is some Hollywood going on.
But honestly, a former president, Uhuru Kenyatta, a man of his stature, can he be acting for the sake of...
Politicians, they are always acting. Because then it means... either those in government who are harassing Uhuru Kenyatta, if we can call it harassing, don't have the brains, and I'm sorry to use that word. Because if I'm smart, I don't need drama. Na kukata miguu tu, kak. After 1 year or 2, you have left this country because I have finished you. Because African businesses are not really businesses in the sense of business.
Can just do away with them.
State and business and one and the same.
All right.
What India was called crony capitalist. Crony what? Capitalism. In other words, it is very hard for you to find a business in this country which, if you severe with government, you cut the umbilical cord between government and that business, it can survive. There are very few. Most of them survive on the oxygen of government. You just switch off the oxygen tank and the patient dies, the business dies. So why this drama? I don't
know what you think. Is this stage managed? Is Uhuru supposed to be in Hollywood acting?
These guys could be, but they'll receive an Oscar.
If indeed there's a movie.
Yeah, they will receive an Oscar.
Do talk again. Thank you for tuning in. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think about this Uhuru drama. Have yourself a lovely rest of your week.